I'd like you to share what that means for you to put self love
Oh,
first.
yes. In order for me to pour love out, I have to pour love. I have to have my cup full.
We need to calm your amygdala down, your survival mode down, so that you can experience your relationship with him in a different way, from a different perspective. So I'm Christine Mendez, stress management coach, and I'm very excited to be starting the ripple effect of love for dads and families. Love has and plays such an important role in our lives. And in today's society, it's so easy to put that aside because we're busy doing, and doing. So I have a special guest today, and his name is Christian Mendez. He's a little bit busy right now. Keep your eyes on the road, Christian. An entrepreneur, a husband, and dad of four. And he's kind of a big part of the reason why I started this full effective love, because he has been transformed by the work that I do. And together we wanted to share this. So thank you so much for being here, Christian, today. And I'd like you to share actually what that means for you to put self love
Oh,
first.
yes, yes, yes. People that have traveled on the airplane or have heard the emergency drills where you're supposed to, when the masks fall down, to make sure you take the mask and cover yourself. When there's a emergency on the airplane, we're supposed to make sure that we're able to protect and breathe and get the oxygen that we need. As much as we love our little ones and our older ones or whatnot, and yes, thank you, Christian. And more towards what who I am and what we're about. It's really not about me. Just to come and we're yes, I'm humble, but it really is about the need of love for men and families, the love that we need and we have in this day and age and every day and age. But luckily, we were able to cross paths on this journey with Christine and now myself, and definitely express the need for love to be at the forefront of everybody today, everybody in general. But we're really focusing on dads and families for this event. Because again, going back to a why, Christian. Well, first of all, because that's who I am, a man, a father, a husband, and my journey and trajectory has been quite different than what a normal two parent home would be in structuring. So as much as it is about us, it's about love. It's about what we're going to share, how we're going to share. And so that really has resonated in the last couple of days, is that in order for me to pour love out, I have to pour love. I have to have my cup full or my mask on so that I can navigate easier. Now, nobody said I can navigate thoroughly, effectively, as efficiently as no, 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 no. We know that there are things to do, there are stressors and stressors, whatever you want to label them as, and Christine will guide us through it. But in today's day and age, it is absolutely a instant gratification culture and a give my attention now, and click, 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 click. So because we understand that and we're able to, and I now have more conversations. And if you folks see with the, yes, with going with the chest, because I, and this practicing that we're going to share, and I'm going to jump right into it. But when I start having conversations with anyone, and I start the tapping, well, now I will introduce it with my children. And even as my 6-year-old, he starts tapping and he starts breathing because I've already introduced them a snap, tap, yeah.
that. And if I may, I still remember you saying, I need to have my son doing this. He needs to self regulate. And remember,
Yes.
I said, start with you, Christian.
Yes.
We need to calm your amygdala down, your survival mode down, so that you can experience your relationship with him in a different way, from a different perspective. So, without
Absolutely.
ado, I will introduce the Snap Tap Zap because I think it's very important that everybody know how to use this in order to follow us, because we will be doing this weekly at 12:30 Eastern. So that's 9:30 Pacific. And we're looking for dads and families that want to lead with love. Of course, that means also setting boundaries with love. It does not mean letting your child do whatever they want, and just in case somebody didn't understand that. So let's take a nice deep breath in. Snap our fingers. If you can't snap, clap. It's a sound. You need to have a sound that works best. We're going to tap on the sternum to calm the amygdala as we breathe in for 3. Relax the shoulders and exhale for 4. I've done it enough times now, but if I just barely have any stress, my whole nervous system starts to calm down. My spine relaxes. However, if you're new at this, you may need to do it more times. And
I want to bring up. I want to bring up one big point. Those that have smoked in the past, or those that are smokers, I challenge you to stop being deceived what you hold between your fingers, and be more leaning into, and not even into what's between your ears. It's really what's between and across your shoulders. It's that heart, because I'm bringing it back with, as a previous smoker, we have this, and then and then and we think that because we're breathing and we have this relief that that's what it is. However, I want to challenge that mindset. I woke up this morning without tension, but I started thinking about my day, and those shoulders really locked up. And as Christine said, and I am new to this. I'm no expert. I'm just a sharer of life and just where we're at. But I see this need. And so with that, I say I am, yes, priorities are and boundaries are wonderful. But we can't identify or even think about, or even what are boundaries? What is this? What is that? So we'll talk about all that and what it means, but we have to
yeah, start with that. And as soon as you
have a
notice,
great day,
you
man.
mentioned, I'm waking up, my shoulders got tense as I started thinking. So you went into the thinking process.
Be awesome. Have a great
What
day.
if tomorrow morning when you wake up and you start having this as you think, you just snap or clap, tap, relax, and exhale, and just let it go right away. First thing in the morning is the best time to start, even when you're laying down in your bed. You do not need to be standing up to do this technique. Your children will learn the technique when the time is right for them. As very, very,
Yeah.
remember that.
Let's pop into that. Yes, let's jump into that real quick because I cannot. Um, I learned that chaos cannot meet chaos, and if my chaos and is not chaos to me, it's my normal behavior. However, calming down and understanding that I needed to self regulate allowed me to see it is normal. It's not normal for my son. So therefore, I cannot begin teaching or sharing something that he did not see me doing and actually, well, really doing, because my kiddos, we allow them to voice themselves and to really call us out, if you will, on our behavior and our words. So because we have allowed them to do that, they we allow them to say, "Hey, you're not calm. You're not calming down. Hey, uh, you're yelling or you're being loud." And so I started realizing as I was doing the tap is to not just teach him to tap, but to tap with him, and for me to tap and as you said, I can't even compose myself.
Exactly. And children learn intrinsically from us, whether we like it or not. If we're getting up and we're grumpy every morning, at some point, your child may start waking up being grumpy every morning. And obviously, nobody wants that. And you don't get up and decide to be grumpy. There's just too much stuff happening, going on. And that's where self regulation, like the snap, tap, breathing in, relaxing the shoulders, and exhaling 4, plays a big role. We've got to be willing to do it. And sometimes our mind, yeah, I'll talk about myself yesterday, where it felt like was not the first thing when I realized that this wasn't done, and it caused a lot of stress in me. Luckily, I had somebody supportive beside me that just gave me a hug, but we had that communication. If you see me losing it, you can tap, you can give me a hug. Those are the things that help me go back to my love. And then, of course, the emotions came up. I cried, I let it out. And then when it was gone, I was relieved. I had released the stressors, the fears that are behind those stressors. And when our mind feels like there's a tiger running after us and it's going to eat us up, we need to have a strategy other than picking up a cigarette or working harder, or there are many different addictions. And if you
Yes,
just snap, breathe in, relax, exhale.
I think it's very important and highlight what you just pointed out, which is, folks, you're allowed to, and we encourage the feeling of a stressor. You identify a a thought, and then you go ahead and capture it. You aim it. It's not. It is the beautifulness of feeling, because feeling love, that's feeling. So we're not asking you to just replay. We're not asking you to not feel. But sometimes we feel bummed out, and we say, well, okay. And then you kind of dig into that feeling, and that's great. But we want to take control of our emotions. So we want to be able to control that feeling, feel it, and then let it go, because we are not our feelings.
Yeah.
We are not what we feel.
I love how you say that. And I'm just going to reframe that just a tiny little bit. And I know you're used to me reframing, so you're going to love this as well. So it's about living the emotion, but only for a few seconds, because your snap, tap, and that, and you let it go. And you have find the right people in your home, in your community, that will support you when it's bigger things, right? Obviously, sometimes it's something big, very tragic that has happened, and just doing a quick snap tap zap might not do the thing, but it will calm that amygdala back down so that you can be present and just be you, even though there's chaos around. And that's essential because that chaos is so easily, it can take us into the wave of chaos of the wave of doings. And leading with love, the gallant or long is for grandparents, right? Meet grandparents who are raising kids. And it can be very tiring. So, do you feel worthy? Taking care of yourself, giving yourself love. It does not mean spending $1,000 on a new pair of shoes and whatever. That's not self love, in my opinion. Right? Self love is about self regulating, taking a bit of time for you, 5 minutes as you open your eyes to just reconnect to what you're grateful for. At night, you can take time to connect to what it is that you are most proud of yourself for that day. I was able to just snap, tap, zap, or I was able to feel an emotion. I remember you, Christian, when we started working together, you said, I can't feel emotions. Well, no, because we were told not to. We were told there's so many things, right? We can take many tangents here today, and it's so important to just be able to breathe, pause, breathe, take care of ourselves in that moment instead of
We
everybody's needs.
we gotta understand that is it right there. Then everybody else's needs. Listen, men, you say man up. Why are you crying? Man up. I love you. I hug you. I'll be all over that man that says man up because I tell you, stifling your emotions, stifling your feelings. When you want to show love, you can show love. That's you saying, I want to show love, or I want to show emotion. I want to show sadness. You're not sad. You're not what's broken. It's the way that we outpour our emotions that is broken. So stifling them is denying of yourself, and you gotta suck in your feelings. And I tell you, not only is it not not being able to feel emotional, sometimes I could not even listen to my own heartbeat. It was a clouded brain intellectual, and those that are high performing people will understand. I don't need to tap into the heart. My brain's got it under control. My brain's knowing my performance is out, my results is out. And we get so caught up in what we're doing, performance, result oriented, leading by example and doing that. I don't have time for anything else, Christian. Yourself and take a little breath of snap, tap, and then just let it go. Just capture yourself, breathe for yourself, let go for yourself, and go. Yeah, Christine said it's not about the $1,000 bag. It's not about that $1,000 jersey or that whatever you did that made you feel amazing. However, if that's what made you feel amazing, congratulations, you did it. You accomplished it. It makes you feel good. At least it wasn't something that you sprung that made you sitting there with regret or with kind of bad talking. And as we're talking about this, and as we're not going to get into a tangent. We can because there's so many different aspects of this that we can apply it to. And that's what I just want to kind of highlight, which is exactly what we're doing into a practical matter and say, well, when things are tough and when things are this, yeah, we know. We've been there. Yeah. You get to work. Yeah. And the more you do it, the more it will work for you. But you also have to give yourself grace. You have to be kind to yourself, and that's what we're talking about. And if that's what makes you feel good, you do it.
That self compassion. It's so, so important because, um, you know, how should I say this? There's so many ideas popping in. I don't know where to start. I'll
The
share.
basics. We're going basics.
Yeah, the basics. I asked my daughter at one point, I said, "Oh, Mom, I'm so glad you're not super dramatic anymore." And and I was like, "Oh, no, wasn't I? It was dramatic. You felt, that's the way she felt it." And so my kids hadn't talked to me in almost a year. Adult kids, obviously. But I said to my son, I said, "Oh, do you find me dramatic?" He says, "Mom, you were not dramatic. You were neurotic." So, oh goodness, neurotic. Yeah. So that journey brought me here, where now I'm a calm person. Forget the neurotic, forget the dramatic, forget all that other stuff. It may peak up sometimes, a little bit drama because my brain is was so used to it and lived in it for so long. That's where the compassion comes up and just saying, it's okay. Got this. I'll do my snap tap zap, but do I also need to go out in nature for a hike? Do I need to go to the gym and release some stress? I remember talking to a kinesiologist and he says, "Oh, Christine, I wish you would work with this person because they're ruining their body by doing high physical activity to release the stress. It's not high physical activity to train for a sport. It's there's so much anger, there's so much frustration. And yes, it releases. And at the same time, it has an impact on the physical body. So exercising with the snap that was even better. You can just release that stress and just be, oh, beautifully taking care of yourself.
Yeah. The breathing. We're gonna call it the breathing hack, the self love hack. And I tell you, I absolutely not just no. A really quick background is yes. Anger was my go-to. It was a protective measure. It was, and there's definitely more to just than breathing. But please love yourself. Take the time out. Self regulate. I promise you'll be able to do things better. You will be able to understand yourself better, listen to, I mean, and these are things that have changed so much. So it healed miraculously. My wife, a perforated eardrum, we get that in another one. It's calmed myself down. It's given my kiddos another way, in a better way of communication. All of all of the changes that are happening within myself and within my life, within my wife and our family, our kids, and really goes back to, and one of the things I cannot understand, self love. No, no, no. I love, and I love hard, and that has never been taken away from me. And you don't, and nobody will take it away from you either. Just know that under that bottle of love that you have, there's still even more if you're able to fill yourself up and you're able to have a richer, more raw, if you will, love for you, which will then outpour. And yes, the trigger, especially me, I'm new to this, brand new, weeks into this. And I will tell you, you start seeing things differently and you start having people around you seeing you differently and reacting you. And absolutely, Christine said, nobody wants to see, nobody wants to see. I'm trying to get a good lighting here, but you look at me and I had to survive in the streets of Southern California. We've gone through this, we're going through this and another. But the tough exterior was not a tough exterior. It was a tough interior, exterior all throughout. I had to live life and I had to learn to live with it. Nobody messing with me, nobody coming around, nobody. I was 4 foot tall to love with the junior in high school, just to kind of paint for a little bit of a vivid picture. So growing up in Southeast San Diego, it was not nice. And I was able to I'm, but I'm learning to self-regulate, to understand that the memories and the past traumas and all of that, it is something that I went through for a purpose, but it is not who I identify. It is not who I am. It is just like a piece of clothing or a favorite outfit that you wear for a while, for a season.
I love that because then you're allowed to throw it out, give it to someone else. You know,
You're gonna donate it, and you know, and donating is. I say donating. I don't throw out things because I'm not a wasteful person. But let's go back to that. And sometimes sharing these traumas is our way of throwing away our garbage. Because sometimes things that we love, being able to recognize and throw away. I may be speaking to somebody and to others, but I'm telling you right now that I'm speaking to my brain because I'm literally in a cleansing process to the garage and our interior and things like that. And I started feeling wasteful, but I in just right now, this clarity and yes, the breathing, and yes, I can vouch. I run a 6 minute mile, but I'm telling you right now, 1000%. When I started doing the Snap Tap Zap with before my exercise and through it, that 6 minute mile even became easier. And I can't go faster yet because I have my elliptical doesn't go, but I mean my treadmill doesn't go. But going back to this is absolutely just practice it. This is a new tool that we're just giving, that we're just sharing with. It works. It may not work for you all the time, and it might not work at the first try, but I promise you that if you try, that's giving yourself grace first and remembering that, and just try. And you'll get better at it, but it works. And with that being said, yep, go ahead.
on that note, I will challenge those of you who are willing to experience something new in your life to do the Snap Tap Zap 3 times a day, a minimum. If you need it more, do it more. And join us tomorrow as we continue this journey where we'll be talking more about where's your oxygen at. So thank you so much, Kristen. It was a delight to have this conversation with you and pass this along. Share this with others that who may need it, whether they do or not, doesn't matter. If you share it, the word will get around and the ripple effect of love will grow bigger and bigger because love is stronger than all the rest. It is very healing within us. And I wish you an amazing day. And thank you so much, Christian. And I'll see you tomorrow, 12:30.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
1000%.